Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Virgo. If Virgo is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so our card tonight is the Queen of Discs. A total Virgo card, right? All right. I was so happy to see the first reading of the night was going to be so earthy. All right. Let's see what we have going on here. And so, if you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell symbol icon thing when you subscribe, and it will let you know when the next videos are coming out, and it is free to subscribe. Okay, so let's see. Okay. So we have some hearts, which is right in line with our our Valentine's Day vibes we have going. Now, I like to think of Valentine's Day not so much as a romantic, well, it is romantic, okay, but it is not limited to romantic or amorous kinds of love. It's all the loves, right? Especially, I like to think of it as a time of love within the family and a love of the divine, right? The love, the partnership, the union we have with that kind of cosmic force, that cosmic intelligence, God, goddess, whatever else you might know and identify with. This is the time. This is why I get so into, and now we don't have our Magdalena cards out. We've switched to the divine doors, but this is the time where I'm super, after the big holidays, all of them that go on in the beginning of winter, and then we get into this midpoint, and it is all about that kind of supreme goddess, the mother that is becoming, right? And here we are. Yes, here we are. Okay, so let's see. We have hearts everywhere. Like I said, we have some flowers. But what I'm really so interested in the middle here is it looks like we have a person who is, you can see the foot, the leg, and it looks like they have some kind of headdress on. They almost look like they maybe are dancing. And then we look over to here, it looks like we have a hearth. And if you're not familiar, a hearth is a fireplace, right? This is where, we keep warm, or we cook our food, or, what else? We do our scrying. So we have a beautiful hearth, and this is, maybe not so much now, but maybe so. This used to be really the center of the home. Okay, this was where so much of the work went on in the domestic. And again, keeping a house warm, keeping the fires going so food could be prepared. It just heating water. That was a big chore, right? We didn't just have hot water out of the tap. So this is a very blessed place, and there are many gods and goddesses of the hearth because it is so central, right, to life. And so I see that we have this beautiful person dancing in front of the hearth, and we have the smoke rising, and it feels to me that there is almost a sense of taking care of the family. And actually, wow, I'm just looking at, I'm sorry. I was looking at this and I'm like, okay, so she's kind of wearing, it looks like her hair maybe is up, but maybe also wearing some kind of crown that looks like a beehive. Then we have the antlers or horns, and it is not dissimilar to this kind of it looks almost like a helmet or a hat. And then these kind of twisting antlers or horns, which is pretty interesting. I like when they kind of mirror each other a little bit. So, yes, we have this feeling of being close to family. It seems very important right now. Now, this doesn't have to be your family of origin. Let me just say that clearly. It might be, but maybe this is the family you've created. Maybe this is your chosen family. Okay, and a lot of us out here, we have chosen families. And whomever it is, I feel like you are somebody who is probably pretty involved with hosting gatherings, arranging plans, maybe, doing the planning for whatever the event may be, the dinners and the different holidays throughout the year, celebrations, just kind of getting everybody on the same page so you can hang out once in a while. And so I feel like this is a time where there maybe is some kind of anniversary coming up. It feels almost kind of bittersweet. But you bring a warmth to it. I feel like this is maybe, it could be like the passing of a parent or somebody who is no longer part of your life or your family's life for whatever reason. Maybe it's their birthday. I'm not sure exactly what this is, but I do feel like even though your heart feels heavy, even though you have been having those moments where I just am, tearing up. It's sometimes it feels almost, comical because it just pops up in the silliest times. You're watching a commercial or you see, some YouTube video and you just get so emotionally, wrapped up in it, and I feel like you kind of even almost kind of laugh, right? But you are the one that kind of gets it together. You're like, okay, I'm going to make sure everybody is doing okay. I'm going to be the one to text, and I'm going to be the one to check in, and I'm going to be the one to, think of all the little details about trying to get everybody into the same schedule so that we can figure out when we're going to meet and all of these things, okay? And I feel like this is one of the times in life where you're at your best, and it's not that you're only made to take care of people and to help people through times that are difficult, or, you're just somebody who keeps the house and gets everybody together and so on and so on. But I do think that this is one of the parts of your life where you really excel, and I think that you enjoy it. Is it tedious? Is it like maddening sometimes? How it's like herding cats? Yeah. Do things go wrong and they kind of fall on you? Sure. You know, but I think that you also, you like a challenge. It's where things kind of, they come together and it really shows off your ability to kind of do a mental gymnastics to figure things out. You're just really on point. And so I think that this is going to end up being a really meaningful time for you. Okay, not only you, but for everybody involved. I think it's important for you to be together, you know, and I'm looking here and we have some snakes. And I look at these as kind of a lot of knowledge. I also see somebody kind of laying down here, kind of in a resting position. And the hearth turns into the moon, okay? And I'm imagining there are, and the serpents, they symbolize knowledge in this context. And I feel like as you are dreaming, and the universe really is, I can imagine it kind of just coming down and kissing you right on the forehead. Just very lovingly bringing you these tidbits from far, far away, you know, and it's just constant kind of index of imagery and scenarios. Really, I feel like, you know, if there were some kind of arcane philosopher or you know, somebody writing the histories or the mythologies or whatever it is, it's like they're teaching class in your mind. They're holding their lectures in your dreams, and I feel like you flow through them. You are ever learning, and these come through, I think, in bits and pieces. I don't know if you are somebody who practices dream work very deeply, but I do think that there are times where you wake up and it feels like you've been with your guide, right? A spirit guide or a guardian angel or your daemon. Not to be mistaken with demon, daemon, an aspect of higher thinking. I like to think of these as kind of the, like a governess, a spiritual governess. They bring us the news of the times, ancient and future, everything in between. And so, yeah, I think that you're really somebody who is so good at giving, I think, very heartfelt, practical advice. You're a practical person. And I feel like this, I am also a Virgo, solar Virgo. So I kind of feel, I feel like I relate with this. I think sometimes I try not to come off as, well, I don't ever want to make somebody feel, I don't know, like I'm not hearing what they're saying, but I'm so practical. So I come in and with the like the simplest idea for something, or the cheapest. That's the big thing. I'm very I'm very practical as far as getting something done for the cheapest amount of money. And and so I think sometimes people are like, what's going on with this lady? It's always just whatever. But I think that in some ways this is a Virgo thing, because my sister is very much the same, and I've had a few very close friends who are Virgos over the years, and we all kind of are the same. It's like, if we can do it ourselves, we will, and if not, we'll figure out like the most practical and simple and uncomplicated way to do anything that we possibly can. And so I think that you're somebody that, again, people really kind of seek out. I think that you, and it is this very much parental energy with most people. There used to be this term, and maybe this is still around on the internet, I don't know, but it was kind of attached to a meme cycle, and it was this whole idea of like a mom friend. No matter what age you are, having somebody who doesn't mom you in an annoying way, but kind of always is like checking in, giving you advice. Oh, you need to rest a little bit, drink a little more water, making sure, are they treating you well? Are they listening to you? Are there any red flags? And so, yes, I think this is exactly kind of where we are as Virgos. And, yeah, I think that people, once they understand that it's really coming from a super genuine place, I think that some people really like having that kind of energy around. Definitely. And now I'm just going to say also, this looks like a crab. And I'm thinking, yeah, and this is my own bias though. I'm married to a Cancer. I think Virgos and Cancers are like the ultimate partners. And shout out to my husband. If you haven't seen his tarot channel, it is Dove and Serpent Tarot. His name is Paul. Go over there and check out his videos and leave him a comment. Tell him Lenor said she loves him. But yeah, I think that, and I see this, it also looks like a crab. So I'm like, oh yeah, definitely, let's mention. If you were wondering, if you were seeking a partner of some kind, yes, I definitely would suggest trying dating a Virgo, or not a Virgo, well, a Cancer. Virgos are good too, but Cancer, that's where it's at. Although, if you have been married to or had relationships with Cancers, let me know. Was it good? Was it bad? Did you grow up in a family of Cancer? It seems like Cancers really, like when there's one in the family, there's like a bunch. It just, I don't know what the deal. Maybe July is like, I don't know. Maybe it's just one of the months that a lot of people are born in, because I know Virgo is one of the most populated signs too. But yeah, I've met quite a few families that are just like really deep with Cancers. Okay, let's see. I was looking at this way, and it reminds me of the triple goddess. Now it's a little distorted, but we have the crescent moon, the full moon, and the crescent moon again. And it, this is in line with all of this energy, the cycles of things, and we're just coming out of the new moon. It's been a heavy one. Heavy in that, emotionally heavy for me. A lot of changes happening in life right now. And I feel like seeing the sign. I mean, it really is. And if you don't know what the three phases are, it's the maiden, the mother or middle goddess, and the crone or the older goddess. And these are the stages of life. Okay. And so I think this is like a very magical time as well. And I feel like when there's a lot of love in your life, you feel so creative. When there's a lot of love in your life, I feel like you really bask in it. You enjoy your time a bit more. I think that there is an ability to remain in a more subtle place with it. I don't think that you're like necessarily like skipping down the street, clicking your heels and singing songs or anything like that. But you are devoted. You're devoted to your people. You're devoted to the beloveds of your life. Okay. And I think of like your animals. Virgo people, we all have our companion animals, don't we? We're devoted to them. And our families, of course, and our children, our partners, spouses. And so often, you know, I don't know. Of course, I don't know how you feel about the divine or deities of any kind. But when we do have those, we have those relationships. There's an unbreakable union there. Often, I feel when we get into that place where we do find the beloved in this kind of greater than self realm, and we can really understand it for ourselves. It doesn't have to be in anybody else's words. You know when you know. That is an individual experience that only you can have. Nobody else has to understand that. I think so often there's no way to utter it, right? We try. We read the books. We try to figure this out. I know I read one of the authors, holy people that I kind of get a glimpse of it through is Teresa of Avila, the saint. And this idea of agape, this ecstasy of love, of the beloved, of the divine Son, right? And I feel like that's a glimpse. when I think about this feeling of just love, obsessive love in some ways. It's not an earthly thing. I don't know. Is there a way to capture it in the manifest? I don't know. Would we want to? I think I don't know. I would be lost in the night. I would absolutely lose touch with life. And you know, that's not to say that married life or love of other corporeal people is not amazing. It is, but there's something different. Just as we love our children differently, our parents differently, our beloved and dear friends, they're all different kinds of love, right? And no love overshadows another. So, yes, I look at this and I think, yeah, there's a fuller picture here. I also think when I look at the triple goddess, I think of a sense of individuation. This is kind of that gateway. If there were kind of an entry gate into the realm of individuation, it would be something akin to the triple goddess. Because it does. It looks at the whole thing. The transient state of thing, the ebb and flow. Abandoning this idea of any kind of fixed state or identity or, persona. And this is where we think, what is the difference between individuality and individuation? That's a real big onion with many layers to start peeling back, right? But it is worthy, and this is the beginning of that concept. We also have this hand. It looks like a hand holding out, right? And I like this idea of, it feels something special about, I don't know if you pray or not, but when I pray and I hold my hands like this, as I'm offering something up, I'm vulnerable. We think of our heart, our belly, our head, our reproductive organs and so on as being very vulnerable to be exposed, right? Yeah, they are, but also our hands in a practical way, but these points of energy, right? And I think I hold them out. I close my eyes and I pray. I meditate. I give, offerings and appeals. It's almost as if I can feel the light resting in the cup of my hand. So maybe it's a good time to be with yourself. To maybe think on the totality of life. No. No. But yes, just to be with yourself and to think. Drift over the landscape of your being. You don't have to focus in on any one thing, but to think about your life. If it were laid out across, what would that look like? I hope it's something that's comforting. I hope it's something that feels like home. But also something like, this feels like home, but I also have other homes. I don't have to be tied to this when it does not feel like home any longer. All right, let's see if we have any jackpots over here. And so, and you know what? Let me check this out. I have to look at my calendar real quick. Because I feel like I missed, maybe it was yesterday. It was. So I did not film yesterday, and it was the Lunar New Year. So we are now officially in the year of the dragon. And this was brought to mind because I see we have a little rabbit here. And of course, last year was the year of the rabbit. So now we're in the year of the dragon, and we are saying goodbye. Goodbye. On to this powerful, powerful energy. And we do have the semicolon here. And it is. We are continuing into what is the next? What do you have for yourself here? What are you in love with right now? It doesn't have to be a person. It doesn't have to be anything in particular, really. But if I say that to you, what are you in love with right now? What comes to mind? What came to mind for me was water. Immediately, water. What are you in love with right now? Water. And actually, it's funny because I had just a heck of a time with water today. It just, my daughter spilled a bottle of water all over my lap earlier while we were on the couch. Then there was water on the bathroom floor. And I have sensory issues with having bare feet in water. I just don't like that on floors. I don't, in my kitchen, in the bathroom, whatever. But it was there, and I was like, ah. And then, oh yeah, and just the towels were really wet, so I went to go wash them, and I was like, this is really a day of water here, and nothing big. And I'm sure there was more than that. But then I thought, even if I feel like I'm crawling out of my skin when these things happen, when I'm standing in water on the floor, and my leggings are all wet because they, were spilled on. I am beloved to water. I know that it is there for me. I like to go and look at it. I like to be in it. I take at least 2 showers a day because it grounds me. It's something that I can't, I can function without it, but it's something that is hard to. I've been drinking a ton of water lately. Got off of coffee. And now every time I want coffee, I drink water. So that's my answer. I wonder what your answer is. All right. Oh, and I wanted to say also, and this just poured all over here, but there was the 37. So if 37 means anything to you, it was there to show itself. Okay, we're going to look at the Divine Doors cards. It says, behind every door lies adventure, mystery, and inspiration. Sounds good to me. And we're going to stop where it feels right. Ooh, that one's kind of cool. They're all beautiful. I love doors. Okay, it says intuition, simple, complex, words of pain or words that heal. You come to know truth by the way that it feels. This is like the ultimate Virgo card, I think, right here. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, Virgo, thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. If you haven't subscribed, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. And it is free to subscribe. If you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I would love to hear from you. And other than that, happy Valentine's Day. I hope that you are doing something nice for yourself. If you have watched these readings at all, any of my readings around any of the gift-giving holidays or where there's an expectation of a gift, I always really push this idea of let's take care of our wants and needs during these times. It is very nice to have gifts given to us, but it's also very nice to know that we can fulfill ourselves. I think that is so important. And so, with that, I'll say I love you. And I will talk to you in a few days. So take care of yourself until then. Good night.